This story opens with a boy trying hard to open the elevator. He is panicking, but his companion tries to relax him. Unfortunately, his companion is shot by a person and killed instantly. The boy, now terrified, picks up the gun and tries to attack the shooter, but his nerves get the better of him. He moves into the elevator and sees a person wearing a full black mask. The boy becomes even more nervous because this person is a real legend, a Fable. He cannot believe that this Fable is so close to him and about to kill him. The Fable jumps out of the window to the ground below, leaving the boy in the elevator shivering. He reflects that this was bound to happen because they started working with human traffickers, and now that Hitman, the Fable, is coming after them. The boy's boss is already dead, and he remembers the scene when his boss and other staff were killed one by one in a single shot. He runs away to save his life, reaching the ground floor where the elevator opens. He calls for his companions, but unfortunately, he is shot in the neck by the Fable. His companion also attacks the Fable, but the Fable kills them all. As the boy is about to die, he asks if the Fable is real. The Fable replies that people call him that, but he is just a professional killer. A girl approaches and asks if everything is okay because she heard gunshots. The Fable replies that everything is fine, removes his mask, and sits with her in the car. He asks her to turn on the TV, wanting to relax and laugh as he watches his favorite comedian Jackal's show. The girl finds it mysterious and asks why he is so relaxed and laughing after killing 5 to 6 people. He replies that it's just a normal thing and enjoys the show. They reach their destination, and he shoots outside. The girl meets their boss, who is cooking fish. She tells him about the incident, noting that the Fable kills people and then relaxes by watching his favorite comedian. The boss is also worried about him. When the Fable arrives, the boss appreciates his work and asks him to sit because the food is almost ready. The Fable isn't happy to see fish again. They talk about work, and the boss asks how many people the Fable has killed in the past 6 years. The Fable doesn't know, but the boss says he has killed 71 people, which isn't a small number. The Fable doesn't reply and asks the girl to blow on his fish because it's too hot, which she finds weird but does anyway. The Fable asks the boss about the next job, but the boss mentions that they've worked too much this year and don't need to do anything else for the rest of the year. He gives the Fable a bag of money, probably close to 50 million, and tells them to hide themselves and go to a group in Osaka. He has connections there and tells them to lie low and not cause problems, living like normal people. The Fable isn't happy, but the boss insists, saying that experience from an unfamiliar place will make him a better professional. He needs to live like an ordinary human, which will help him adapt to any environment and situation. The boss warns them that if they kill anyone during their break, he will kill them. They prepare to go to Osaka, and the girl gives him his driving license with the name Akira Sato. He hides his gun in the microwave and tells the girl to hide another gun. He opens a water bottle containing bullets and a spray can hiding a barrel. She reminds him of the boss's order not to take any guns with them. He replies that he just keeps them in the microwave so the boss will pick them up tomorrow, but he insists on taking his Nighthawk because it's his partner. She warns him not to blame her when the boss gets mad and reminds him they need to hide their identities and live a simple life. He doesn't take it seriously and is unhappy to see his birthday on his driving license is April 1st, April Fool's Day. She tells him they are living a fake life, so it doesn't matter. In the car, she asks him why he became a hitman. He doesn't want to answer and feels weird about it, but she mentions they'll be living together for a year, so they need to get used to it. He asks her about her past, wondering if she's the boss's lover. She replies that when she was 10, her house burned down, and her parents died. For some reason, the boss took her in and taught her everything. A year ago, he made her his assistant and driver, and that's her story. She asks about his story, but he can't tell her anything, and she isn't happy about it. They stop for coffee and rest, and he recognizes 2 car burglars. She tells him not to cause trouble and goes to buy coffee. He sits on a bench, noticing the burglars approaching their car. He thinks to himself that they aren't pros because they can't smell the 50 million in the car. When they come near him and ask for his wallet, he punches them. She returns with coffee and gets mad at him, but he explains they touched him. They leave in the car, and she scolds him for his behavior. He explains it's not his fault, it's his training. She tells him to control himself, or he'll kill someone by the end of the year. He agrees but mentions it's not easy. As they approach their destination, she tells him they need to speak the Kansai dialect, which he already knows. She also tells him not to forget his name and to behave like a normal, ordinary human. She explains more about the Meguro group in Osaka, mentioning their boss Hiroshi Hamada, age 53, and their captain Takeshi Ebihara, age 38, a hardcore bruiser with 5 previous convictions. These 2 are the only ones who know about their situation. He gets fed up as she takes him to buy clothes to change his dress and make a good impression. In the office, Takeshi Ebihara shows his insecurity about harboring them because he is a hitman Fable who can kill any person in just a second. If they harbor a hitman, it may cause problems for them, but Hiroshi doesn't take it seriously and remains calm. He mentions that they are just giving a place to live to the kids of a friend and nothing else. Hiroshi is not worried about anything. In reality, he is obsessed with Takeshi because he is a professional killer who, 3 years ago, wiped out the same Ken group easily, killing the boss and every member in just 2 minutes with only one shot for each corpse. He is an amazing person who has killed thousands by bombing them instead of using his hands and knife. He is a genius at killing. At the same time, someone comes and tells them about Sato's visitor. They order them to move to the reception room. They are waiting for them, and it is unbelievable to see them. When Takeshi Ebihara tries to talk with them, but he replies rudely. Due to his insecurity, he asks him what he would do if he had to kill him and the boss on the spur of the moment. As a pro, Hiroshi replies that he would first crush his throat, take the gun from his left pocket, and mentions that this gun, what people call a lotus root gun, is a .22 revolver. It turns out to be true. He has a gun in his pocket and did it just because he met a Fable. However, he is still not satisfied and asks what he would do if he only had 5 bullets left and had to face 10 men outside. Hiroshi replies simply that he would take Hiroshi's gun. The boss laughs, and they are shocked by how he knows this. After that, they both mention they will live there for a year and live their lives easily and simply. No one knows their real identity. They mention they are happy to live there but have some simple rules. They must live a simple and normal life and not cause trouble. If they cause trouble for their group, they will be taken out. They agree to it and are about to leave to show their room, but Takeshi stops them and seriously mentions that Takeshi's nose hair is sticking out, embarrassing him. In the car, she shouts at him and mentions that if he doesn't take care of his nose hair, he will get himself in big trouble. Takeshi removes his nose hair in the car. He shows them their house, which is originally used by their members when they are in trouble, and shows them an old baby car, which is his car and he loves it. He is very possessive about his car and tells them not to dare to touch it. That's a rule. He tells him that his nose hair is also sticking out. He told him he had heard several rumors about him that he killed all his targets with just one shot, but he could not believe it, so he wanted to test his skills. He gives him a gun and asks where he will shoot. He replies that he will tell him the shooting place and he will find and shoot it in under 2 seconds, a difficult task. He tells him he has to shoot the security cameras. He does it in just a second, but unfortunately, instead of the camera, he shoots the wall, and debris falls on the roof of his favorite car. He mentions it is not his fault, he was told to shoot. She comes and touches his hand, saying she will clean the car perfectly because the situation is getting bad, and he agrees. Takeshi Ebihara tells his companion Yakuza to take a video of this scene from the camera and also advises him to keep his eyes on them. He agrees. On the other hand, Fable finds several cameras in his room. After that, he moves upstairs and thinks that his vacation has started, and he has to enjoy it. He also remembers his life when he was killing people. Suddenly, he hears someone and sees a woman with a hurt stomach, but she goes into her room. The Yakuza keeps his eye on Yoko Sato and watches her via the cameras, telling Takeshi that he keeps his eyes on them. However, Fable's cameras are not working, they are all shut down. Takeshi takes an interest in this and wants to chase them out of their town and their group because they are dangerous for them, and he is not in a position to take any danger. Akira Sato is naked, cleaning his gun, watching his favorite comedy show, and lastly, he gets a call from Yoko, and they go to a bar to drink. He is not happy there and sees everything strangely. She tells him to relax and enjoy. She asks about his hobby, but he mentions that he has no hobby, and if he had one, he would wish his life to be long, which he does not want. She suggests he find a hobby during this vacation. He asks her about her hobby, and she replies that she wants to find someone who is always with her and loves her during this year. The Yakuza, who keep an eye on them, ask some friends to misbehave with them so that they fight and can easily chase them out of town. They move back home, and he is normal, but she drinks a lot and cannot handle it. Some boys come and try to misbehave with them. He tells her to go home because if she stays with him, they will misbehave and hurt her, and he will kill them. She agrees. They attack him, and he just saves himself, pretending he is hurt and not fighting back. One of them punches him, causing blood to flow, and with tears in his eyes, he apologizes to them. They forgive him and leave. A girl comes and gives him a handkerchief to stop the blood. He comes to know this is the same girl whom he saw in pain coming to her room, but suddenly she ran away. Yakuza give the fighters their payment and thank them they are doing a good job. Yakuza informs Takeshi, who is sitting with his friend. His friend gives him 5.38 caliber rounds. They are both black market dealers, and they are destroying Japan's ecosystem and organized crime ecosystem. Akira is not comfortable in his bed, so he sleeps in a bathtub. Takeshi attacks some people in the darkness of the night from a car. The next day, Akira laughs at his favorite comedy show and gets a call from the boss, which is unusual. He receives a message to get a pet like a pro, along with his favorite comedian Jackal Stricker. He discusses this with Yoko, who also cannot understand it, but they decide to go to a pet shop to buy a pet. When they reach the shop, he laughs to see Jackal Stricker there. She sees different pets and tells him the boss does not want them to buy a pet, He wants them to think about life. He decides to buy a beautiful parrot and sees the same guy from their last fight. They start following each other. He informs this to Yakuza, who tells the other guy to beat him when he comes outside the shop. Unfortunately, they both lose him, but suddenly they spot him and move toward him quickly. He runs from them, plays tricks on them, pretends to be very scared, and jumps from a high bridge, but he is saved and runs away. He runs back to the shop, and she tells him the pet he wants is a black-headed parrot that is very expensive, but it doesn't matter because he just made a friend. They buy the parrot and research about it, finding many cute things. She tells him to give the pet a name, and he replies that he will think about it. He gives his pet a place and names it Hawk, but the pet seems to prefer the name Captain. Yakuza gives all the information to Takeshi, who is shocked to hear it and advises him not to do anything without orders. Takeshi tells him he likes the girl, Yoko, so he should invite her to dinner and show her around town. He orders him to eat with her, asks everything about her brother, and gives him money for that. Takeshi is playing with his pet and enjoying it. Yoko is also playing with her pet, and Yakuza watches her. Akira is exercising in the garage when Takeshi comes and sits in his car. Takeshi tells him that if he is free, they will have a frank talk and go out tonight at 9 p.m., and he agrees. Yakuza comes to meet Yoko and tells her that the captain ordered him to show her the town. She asks if her brother will also go with them, but he replies that her brother is invited by the captain and knows all the restaurants and bars. She gets excited and agrees, informing her brother, who allows her to go. She advises him not to lose his temper, fight, or kill anyone. After that, Takeshi sits with him in the car in a relaxed mood. Takeshi tells him that this car is close to his heart and is his treasure. He replies that he also has a treasure, a gun that has saved his life twice. He asks if, when his lives on the line, he wants his favorite gun with him, and he agrees. Yoko also goes out with Yakuza, and they decide to eat meat at a restaurant. Takeshi tells him he does not believe he is the real Hitman, Fable, but he replies that the name was given by someone. Takeshi tells him he has to fight a big boy to prove he is the real Fable. He heard rumors that he could take down any opponent in 6 seconds, and if it is true, he should prove it. He also mentions that he knows his boss told him to avoid violence, but this incident is all on him. Yoko has a good dinner and enjoys it a lot. They both have feelings for each other and fall in love. The big boy is waiting for him to fight, and Takeshi tells him not to worry about anything and just fight and kill him. He wears his mask and moves toward them. He cannot understand that it is Takeshi's trap to chase him out of town. Let's see if he is trapped by him or not. Please subscribe to our channel for the next part.